Tomorrow is going to be a big day for the national capital, Delhi. After March 2020, Delhi government has decided via the Delhi Disaster Management Authority suggestions that schools can finally reopen. So this show today is about parents and whether they will decide to send their children back into classrooms. But the bigger question, with a sharp increase that has taken place at least in some states that reopened schools, will Delhi take a chance? The special report, take a look.
Schools are opening again. Classrooms witnessing bustle. And here is some encouraging news. Only 2 states which unlocked classrooms have reasons to worry. Apart from Punjab and Bihar, other states have only a marginal rise in COVID in kids in the last 2 months.
The state of Punjab, where in July there were 6.5% samples that are tested positive below the age of 17 years. In the month of August, there is a rise of about 9.6%, where 16.1% samples have tested positive. This upward trend is also being seen in the state of Bihar, where Bihar recorded 6.2% samples of those below 17 years who were tested positive. And now in August, 11.5% samples of those below 17 years have tested positive, which is a rise of about 5.3%. State of Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Nagaland, Chhattisgarh have also seen more than 2% rise in cases of those below 17 years testing positive. But there are some states like Jharkhand where schools have partially reopened that have seen a negative trend where there's a decline of about 0.8% in those who have tested positive less than the age of 17 years. So this data clearly shows that where states have reopened schools and children remain unvaccinated are looking at a rise in cases of children being infected with COVID-19.
Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Nagaland, Chhattisgarh saw only around 2% rise in the positive samples of children. Uttar Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Mizoram are showing marginal increase of between 1.5 to 1%, with Haryana only recording a spike of 0.6% infections in children from July to August. Even Kerala, contributing the most to the COVID numbers in India, registered a slight decline in the number of kids with COVID, while Maharashtra, Jammu and Kashmir, West Bengal, Delhi, Telangana, Manipur, which have not resumed schools, also saw fewer children testing positive.
प्रॉब्लम ये है हमारे साथ, हम सब चीज खोलना चाहते हैं, मॉल खोलना चाहते हैं, उसका रिस्क लेना चाहते हैं। थर्सडे फ्राइडे जो इवनिंग बाजार है जिसमें बहुत भीड़ होती है उसको खोलना चाहते हैं एंड उसको हम साइड करते हैं कि लोगों को कमर्शियल एंगल को साइड करते हैं। बट क्या अभी हमने सोचा है इन बच्चों का क्या नुकसान? अगर कोविड फैलता है मोस्टली स्कूल से नहीं फैलता, ये कम्युनिटी में फैलता है। जो स्कूल है वो उसका रिफ्लेक्शन है, ये हमें अंडरस्टैंड करना पड़ेगा।
Parents, while often allowing kids to venture out in public and even taking vacations with them, are still unsure about return to schools.
The real question is, the data could become a ready reckoner for states that are sitting on the fence to decide whether this seems to be the right time to reopen schools, even as children remain vulnerable and unvaccinated against COVID-19, and even school staff that needs to be vaccinated on priority to contain the spread of infection after schools reopen. With Sanjeev Kumar in New Delhi, this is Milan Sharma for India Today.
Meanwhile, Telangana High Court has stayed the opening of schools specifically in the state for the next 1 week. Now, remember, kindergarten to PG was set to reopen with institutions of higher learning as well from tomorrow. But the High Court has said no student from any class need to go to school currently, and neither can any student be compelled for physical classes. High Court has also stayed the reopening of residential schools and hostels. This comes, remember, after several parents were scared to send their children to schools amid reports of a possible third wave threat. Earlier, Chief Minister KCR had directed officials to open all schools and higher educational centres and with safety measures, but it appears that did not get an approval from most parents.
My name is Ali Hussain and I am studying 5th class and I am not vaccinated. I am not going to school. I opposed Telangana government order for reopening school.
So this is a huge debate. There are parents who want the schools to open while there are many parents who are not yet convinced. Let me now bring you both the for and against. Why are there parents for and want the students to return? For example, on top, take a look at that. Kids can handle infection better. Well, that's been the case for now, as we have seen. Low risk of severe COVID among kids. There is no data to suggest that the kids are going to be specially hit badly in the third wave, if at all that comes. Importantly, children are missing out on social skills, on development, especially in essential years. That's what a lot of psychologists and COVID experts have also maintained with the schools that have been shut for so long. Remember, digital divide for online classes. Many people do not realize that digital divide is very real, even in urban areas like Delhi, and is clearly online education a privilege. Why are people against? Let me now take you through quickly. Threat of third wave. No vaccination for children yet. School safety protocols are not clearly defined. And distancing. How can you possibly tell hundreds of children to not meet and greet, to not sit together? And therefore, that is going to be the biggest challenge and could become a concern for the rising cases of COVID, like we have seen internationally as well. So while the children are set to return, what precisely are the parents thinking? Let me now have the panel on air. Let me now introduce to them, because remember, this is all about the parents and their decision of whether they want to send their children to school as well. Joining me today evening, Hina Hasnain, a parent of an 11-year-old boy. I'm also joined by Minita Kumar, another parent and has her child in a Delhi-based school, which are set to open tomorrow. Dr. Raghuram Malaya, he's the director, Fortis La Femme, and specializing in the nanotechnology, specifically with regard to the children. It's a neonatal, remember, which is becoming a concern for many children. I want to first go across to Hina, because Hina, I realize that because you have a young child, what is your big concern? I really want to understand, why are parents so apprehensive to send their children to schools and into classrooms yet again?
So basically, as a fully vaccinated adult, I feel that the children are the ones who are prone to the virus now. And as far as safety measures are concerned, we feel that if we are working from home and if we are taking all social distancing measures, then the least that we can do is, I think, keep the child safe at the moment. And it's only, at least in Noida, the school, it's only twice a week. So I have decided not to send the child till the time the vaccine is out, at least.
So you're not convinced and you want the vaccines to be out. Does that mean that you want the online education to continue? Is it really easy, or that easy, that you would want to continue with your child at home, restricted indoors and online education?
Yes, I am using the online option. I wouldn't call it easy, but
Yeah.
I think we've just come to terms with it. It's been a year and a half, and we have, I think our whole life kind of revolves around it now. We've all managed so far. So I think a few more months wouldn't matter really. I'm hoping the vaccine is around the corner for 12 years at least. So my son is 11. And well, if nothing else, one more year, and then I can send him across. I can send him to school then.
So let me now take that opinion to a medical expert. As Dr. Raghuram Malaya, you're joining us in a very reputed hospital, deals with the pediatric age group. You must have heard similar stories of parents. Vaccines are not yet here. Are children going to be hit badly? What is, according to you, after so many alarming situations coming in, what do you tell to these parents, and especially with the schools reopening? What is your view, sir?
Hi, Pooja. I think parents are allowed to have and make their own decisions.
Yes.
I think that is absolutely fair for them to make the decision. You cannot force things upon people. But looking at it from a purely medical perspective, Corona is here to stay, and that is very important for everybody to remember. And the online classes and the online way of life cannot become the way of life for all of us at all points in time. And we need to take the opportunity, the window of period when you get, when the infection rates are very low, the transmission rates are very low. We need to take this opportunity to try and return back towards normalcy. Obviously, it cannot become compulsory. Everybody cannot be forced that they should they should send their children to school. But a lot of parents who do come and keep coming and asking us, we would like to send our children to school. There is equal sort of thought on both the sides of the fence, whether they should send them or not send them. And I think personally, and based on the medical scientific evidence that we've got, children generally tend to get infections much lesser. They do not transmit infections as much as what adults do. They don't get hospitalized as much as adults do.
Yes.
Taking all these into consideration, and the opposite side of it is that they're not vaccinated, of course. That is something that we need to work on simultaneously. But I don't think we can afford to just sit and wait for the vaccines to be here. And vaccines may not be the answer to the whole problem. Like I said, Corona is be here on and off.
That's true, actually, that the COVID-19 is here to stay. We can only stay and keep our precautions, but till when can we keep our children indoor? These are some of the fair points that I think that you have brought out, and given the expertise that you have in the medical field. Let's go across to another parent. Minita Kumar is also currently joining me. Minita, your child is in a Delhi school set to reopen tomorrow. Have you got any intimation yet? I want to know, what are parents of like you, of school-going children? What is the conversation? What is the sort of chatter that the parents are currently engrossed in?
Sure. So I've in fact, I'm in touch with a lot of parents over WhatsApp groups. And this is not just for my class, but across sections. And I know that a majority of them are not in the favor of sending their children to school. We've got the consent form from the school as well. And the school for us are opening from the 8th of September. And there is an option to either send or not send. And there is no right now blended option also. But I know for sure that a lot of parents are opposed to the idea. There is also right now no option for the transportation. So the parents, the responsibility of pickups and drops are with the parents. I'd also, in fact, some time back started a petition on change.org, asking the Delhi government to wait till the vaccination for children has started and reached a certain level before they reopen the school. Almost 5,000 parents, and this is just a week and a half old petition, 5,000 parents have already signed this. I've also been sort of glued into what doctors have to say. And I think we are taking a very big risk, one by reopening school, because you get a lot of children together.
That's a repeated concern that you're telling me about, like that of a similar, that of Henna as well. But I have an added question here. What is this consent form that you're referring to that schools are asking? Because I know that there are other parents also who have reached out to me and said that there is a consent form, or some suggestions are being sought by parents, especially from private schools. What is this that you're talking about?
In fact, this is something that another parent had actually pointed out in a group, that there is no advisory from the government as to what the school should do. And second, when I saw the consent form, and not just for my school, I saw it for a couple of other premier schools of the city, I've seen that there is no responsibility that the school has taken, or they've not given any transparency as to what the school is going to do to ensure that the surroundings are clean, that the sanitization of the school is done at a regular interval. So it's the entire responsibility, with the consent form, the government as well as the school is putting the responsibility on the parent to take care of the child and ensure that if something happens to the child, it is the parent's responsibility.
Okay, so and I know there are other parents as well. Some are seeking suggestions, some are just asking for a yes or no. Does that mean the accountability lies with the parent, not with the institution? Before I come to you, Dr. Raghuram, I want to take another question from Henna. Henna, what the experts have been regularly stating is that keeping children indoor for so long is hampering their social and development skills, and these are essential years that we need to bring them back. Do you agree to that? What has been the change perhaps in your own family?
Yes, that is a huge reason. He does miss meeting his friends and just hanging around with his friends and peers around him. He definitely misses that. He is an introvert, so I feel with introvert kids, it's even more difficult. But it's something that we've just taken in our stride, and we just feel that, hope is around the corner, and hopefully he will be able to go back to school and enjoy regular life again. Not that this is not regular, this is the new regular, I feel, actually, for the time being at least.
So, Dr. Raghuram, that's my question to you then, what the parents are saying, that do you also agree to that? Do you think that social and development skills are getting hampered, or perhaps at this point we can take that risk compared to sending them to schools and catching COVID?
Absolutely, Pooja. I think that's a major issue that most kids are facing, especially the very younger kids whom I don't think we're talking about them going back to school. But even the older children sitting at home, not able to meet their friends, not able to interact with other human beings. And this is taking a big toll on them in terms of their sort of development as a personality development. We see a lot of these problems happening in kids. I just like to make a very important point here, Pooja, that as you've seen that there's a lot of talk about the third wave and a lot of people are getting very scared about the third wave, and rightly so. But we have to learn our lessons from what has happened across the world. And I think that's where it is very important for us to understand what we're dealing with. If you see the third wave in the US and the UK, even over there, almost none of the children have received vaccine, especially the ones less than 12 years. And UK, if I'm not mistaken, has just started the under 18 vaccine just very recently. But they've all left the schools open and they did not shut the schools, even though they had such a peak rise of cases. And the learning from this was that, we are going to have to deal with this, since most of the adults who were the ones, the rate of infection cannot be controlled. As long as they're not having problems, it is going to be something like the flu, which is going to evolve over a period of time. Obviously, when the pandemic of flu happened, everybody was very scared about it. And we're going to have the same issue now with the corona as well. We'll have to get used to it. We also have to remember that even if we do get vaccinated, as we've seen in the recent wave, that we are going to get infections even in the vaccinated people because the corona is going to mutate.
So of course, the situation, it's a global pandemic, situation is being observed and watched by medical experts around the country. So these are some of the interesting points that you have made. I want to take a quick question from Minita Kumar as a parent. If the schools and teachers and academicians are watching you right now, what do you have to say to them? What do you think schools need to know right now as a concerned parent here on India Today?
Right. In fact, I'm glad you asked that question, and I wish that the government would take a faster approach to start vaccinating kids. Like I said, I've been listening to a lot of top doctors around, the country and in Delhi, and their advisory is to get vaccinated as soon as quickly and speeding up the process of vaccination.
Okay.
I know that I'm willing to wait for another 6 months, and luckily my child, she's not ventured out much, only when it's absolutely needed, and she's willing to wait till the vaccination is done and she's safe to go out. Of course, we all know that it's difficult for children to stay indoors, but schools are also taking a lot of measures to engage the children. And I think in the next 6-7 months, if we are fast enough to vaccinate our children, and the next session, especially in Delhi, starts early next year. I think children should be in a position to go to school then.
So I think these are some interesting points that have come on this ongoing discussions that we have been having since the past few days. I want to thank all my panelists, specifically the parents, Hena Hasnain, Minita Kumar, and of course Dr. Raghuram Malaya as well, for all your points. All I will say is perhaps it will take next few days for us to really understand if parents are ready to send their children to school. But importantly, do remember that online education is also a privilege. Even in National Capital Delhi, not everyone has that access to internet and network. And while we stay with that story,